Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be reviewing the Jurassic World Chaos Theory Danger Pack lophostropheus. But there's something kind of weird about this figure. I got it on clearance and I cannot see anything visually wrong with this figure. It doesn't look like it's been opened or anything. Generally nothing really wrong with it, especially nothing that different from the other figures. But something pretty interesting about this figure is that it actually, if you look at the clearance tag, it says Jurassic World DP, which stands for Danger Pack Yoxiosaurus, which, if you didn't know, Mattel has not made a figure of that species. So, are we getting a Danger Pack Yoxiosaurus? I'm gonna make a longer video talking about this. This could just be that maybe even the Jackapill was originally supposed to be a Yoxiosaurus, and somehow the tags got switched, or even Yoxiosaurus is going to be getting a figure, but I have no idea. I will make a longer video talking about this, but as of now, we are going to be reviewing this lophostropheus. And I don't know if I even have to. I might need to cut these wires. Actually, let's take a look at the box first. First, you can see on the back, Dimetrodon, Jackapill, Sungopterus, Lophostropheus, scan code for the Thingamabob, or the Yoxiosaurus, or Lophostropheus. I have no idea. Anyways, some other stuff on the back of the packaging. So, yeah, I don't know if I might have to cut the packaging to actually get this guy out. Or at least cut these strings. So yeah, cut these strings right here. That releases the figure, which just fell out of the packaging. We'll just get rid of this packaging. So yeah, here is our lophostropheus. So let's just take a closer look at this figure. First off, looking at the head sculpt, if I can get my camera to focus. Yeah, kind of can get the focus. This head sculpt is really good, having a lot of detailing on it. Going down the neck, also a lot of detailing, a lot of wrinkles, and it has these larger kind of scoots on the legs. Going down the tail looks good. Spine down the back. Has the scoots on the hands. Actually has inward facing hands, proper inward, non-pronated downwards hands. Yeah, the feet, which have really nice scooting. Would be nice if we had some claw paint, though. This is Mattel, so I wouldn't really expect that. Have the dew claw sticking out on the back. Turn around. Pretty much the same on the other side. So, yeah, paint scheme is pretty simple, just tan belly and mostly brown. Except there is a nice splash of green on the face, alongside a nice, lime green and a red eye, and some yellow teeth. The only thing I can see visually really wrong with this figure is that there is a little bit of a paint scuff on the end of the nose. But I've seen way worse on figures and them not be on clearance, so, yeah, I doubt that that's the reason why it's on clearance. And if I can get this scan code up, just give me a second. Give me a second, I will have to get the scan code up, it's a little bit tricky. Sorry that took me so long, but I got the scan code up, so you can scan into your Jurassic Facts app if you would like. Hoping that's focused. But yeah, I'm just gonna close that back down. Now for the articulation, if I can get my camera focused, for some reason it's being really weird with focusing right now. Okay, anyways, arm articulation just goes forward and backwards, no outwards articulation. Hind limbs do the same thing, backwards and forwards. The tail is, of course, on a swivel, like always, for some reason. There is neck articulation, no side to side, just up and down. And then the jaw articulation on this figure is actually kind of weird. It only opens up this wide, which is not a defect for this figure. Literally all the other lophostropheus I have seen, the jaws only open up like this wide. Thankfully, it does have some pretty sharp looking teeth, which is really nice to see on a Mattel figure. It also has really painted eyes. Usually Mattel doesn't usually just add like a black slate and keeps the eye the color of the base plastic. But they actually went through the effort of painting it red, which is really nice. And I think that's about as far as the jaw articulates. Actually, no, it does pop open more if you pull it all the way. But, yeah. That actually looks really cool with the mouth open all the way like that. But it is more natural. You do actually kind of have to pop the jaw out of the socket a little bit to do that. Let me just pop it back in because it is a little bit tricky. Generally, when I recommend doing that, it generally just opens up this wide, which is kind of weird. So yeah, if I can just get this guy to stand, we can actually measure it. And this figure measures in at about, just slightly under 8 inches. And height at the hip measures in at a little bit under 3, and height at the top of the crest, I'd say about 3.5. So, yeah, let's actually compare this guy to some things. First, accidentally knocked that over. Anyways, I have a bunch of figures to the side which we can compare this to. First, here's it compared to a Mattel human figure. and a Jurassic World raptor figure, which it's about the same size as a raptor figure. I'll back the camera up, yeah. You can see it's about the same size as a raptor figure, and it pairs up really nicely with a human. Next, here's it compared to the Jurassic World Dominion Morris Intrepidus, which it also pairs up with really nicely, being about the same size. Here's it compared to the Jurassic World Dilophosaurus, which I believe is actually a relative of lophostropheus. And man, Dilophosaurus is so small compared to when it should be like twice, if not more, the size of lophostropheus. So, yeah. But that's just the Jurassic Dilophosaurus. Hopefully we can get a novel-inspired figure at some point. But, yeah, here we have the Quilmosaurus. Kind of random thing I want to mention. It'd be cool if we got a novel-inspired Dilophosaurus. But, got it as, like, a Hammond collection figure, so it's, like, properly sized. Same for Carnotaurus would be pretty cool. Next, here's it compared to Papasaurus, which it actually pairs up. Also is really similar in size, though I think Papasaurus is slightly smaller. We have Calescus, which is another one of the Mattel's really nice figures. I also think it's slightly smaller than Lophostropheus. Mashikasaurus looks about the same size. Actually, a little bit shorter, so it's slightly smaller. Rugops. My Rugops figure does not stand for some reason. I'm going to hold it up. But yeah, very similar. These comparisons are kind of pointless since they're all about the same size. Herrerasaurus, which it also is about the same size as. Proceratosaurus, which it is quite a bit bigger than. And next we have Lystrosaurus and Guanlong. So, yeah, and then the last thing I'm going to be comparing this to is my custom Lysowishia figure. So, yeah, now for my final thoughts on this figure. Okay, I was going to move on to my final thoughts, but I forgot to compare it to the not the Jurassic World, the, Carnegie Collection Sidraptor. But anyways, now for my actual final thoughts on this figure. I think that this figure is actually really nice. One of the best theropods that Mattel has put out, especially in the Danger Pack size range. And I would 100% recommend picking this guy up. Has a nice sculpt, has a pretty solid enough paint job, and it's a pretty obscure species. So, yeah.